If you hate this administration and you are single, the most radical thing you can do right now is start dating immigrants. Think about it. It hasn't been working out with these American men anyway, has it? I wonder why. Well, look at our country. That's why. So when you find a man from another country who can truly appreciate your genius, your beauty, your whole life will change. And on top of that, you're going to piss off the president. Woo! Oh, they're stealing our jobs. Wait till they start stealing all the women.
What's going on, guys? I hope you've been having a good day so far. Please give this video a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. Consider subbing to me on Patreon if you want to monetarily support this channel. And let's see what these liberals are crying about today.
Hi, I'm Scout. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an interdisciplinary major at UBC. I'm in my last semester. My primary thematic focus is decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems, and my secondary thematic focus is biocultural and linguistic futurity.
For those who don't know what that means, can you give us a quick rundown?
Yeah, basically what I focus on is the promises that the institution has made and also the emergence of indigenous ways of knowing and being across the disciplines, and I feature in a lot of stuff like language revitalization, or the emergent vitality of languages rather, and just kind of a bunch of stuff. I've taken courses in over 20 departments, so
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
But the last 2 years have changed me. And honestly, I don't think that I can call myself a Christian anymore. I've been considering converting to Islam for 2 years. You want to know the biggest difference that I've noticed between Christianity and Islam? One is based off of love. The other is based off of fear. I used to be on the hard, messy, bloody, dangerous front lines with the Muslims as opposed to sitting comfortably in the back with the Christians, watching genocide like it's entertainment, eating popcorn, and clapping in the name of Jesus. Who was Palestinian, by the way? I know that publicly denouncing arguably one of the most powerful and evil religions in this world is going to have its consequences, but I don't care because I'm always going to choose the side of love. I keep saying that I'm still deciding, but I think I just made that final decision, and I guess I'll handle whatever comes my way in the name of Allah.
I'll never fully understand why white liberals do stuff like this, converting to Islam. It's obviously a form of virtue signaling, but it just seems so extreme and ridiculous. And really, I miss the days when the only conversions to Islam we would hear about are if you were black and you went to prison.
Are you a fellow MAGA presenting leftist or liberal? If so, get one of these shirts. These are great. Great fit. Here's why I qualify. Harley, camo hat, bald head, facial hair, tattoos. I got muscles, but the difference is I have intelligence, and there's also this. Yes! Semper Fi, gunny out.
I'm an elementary school teacher, and I work to make all of my students become transgender. As an educator, it is my responsibility to form the next generation of world leaders, and I believe that the future of our world rests in the hands of trans youth. At the beginning of every morning, we recite our Down with the System pledge, study trans history, and practice using pronouns that are different than the ones that were assigned to us at birth. If any student ever misgenders another student or refers to themselves as cisgender, they are held back from recess and given additional transgender lessons.
Fascism is when colleges and museums and news outlet sources are defunded and rewritten. Fascism is when cities are militarized simply for being the opposite party of the current president. Fascism is when rules are written and changed just to benefit the current leader, like the $3.4 billion Trump has made since being president. Fascism is when states are at threat of being defunded for disagreeing with another country. Fascism is when there's no room left for discussion or for argument, and when one thing is declared as fact and any disagreement is punished. So like, you guys can keep screaming at me in the comments. I'm not saying every Republican is inherently a fascist. All these things add up though.
We truly are not bullying MAGA men as much as we should. Because what do you mean you're scared of cities? Cities? Like downtown? You're scared of that? You're supposed to be the protectors, right? Aren't you all the one pushing the gendered bullshit that men have to protect women? What are you protecting us from? I strap my toddlers into a car and drive them downtown literally weekly and think nothing of it. But you, my guy, won't go within a 5-mile radius without your Glock and being strapped up? I think we should be bullying them more. That seems like snowflake shit to me. These big, strong men get their stats from Fox News and think that crime has overridden these areas and the police are getting beat up. No, they're not. I literally went to the farmer's market downtown 2 weeks ago. It was fine. The little guy is scared of the big city. Oh.
There's a new TikTok trend where people are saying that they're white but non-practicing. Some say it jokingly, some say it seriously. And me, I say it from the deepest place I know. I am white, but I am non-practicing. Because whiteness, not in skin, but the systems, was never meant to be neutral. It was designed to be the default, the unspoken standard that everything else gets measured against. And I've never been okay with that. Even as a kid, I felt the weight of it. The injustice, the silence, the way the world tilted toward people who looked like me and away from those who didn't. So when I say I'm non-practicing, I don't mean I just woke up. I mean I've spent my life refusing to let the system define me. I've always known whiteness wasn't just something I was. It was something the world wanted me to perform, to protect, to stay quiet about. But I've never been interested in practicing that kind of whiteness, the kind that erases or centers itself or calls its silence kindness. I never wanted to walk through this world shielded by privilege while others walk through fire. So no, I'm not practicing that. I'm practicing listening, practicing truth-telling, practicing standing beside those who've been pushed aside, not out of guilt, but out of alignment, out of love, out of a deep belief in justice that's lived and not claimed. Because whiteness, as I inherited it, wasn't just a feature, it was a framework. One I've been trying to dismantle from the inside for as long as I understood what it was. So yes, I'm white, but I'm non-practicing. Not silent, not neutral, not comfortable while others bleed. I don't want to be protected by a system that's still hurting so many. I want to be part of the healing. And if you're feeling...
No, but can you imagine being so fucking hated? Like, so reviled. Like, so just detested that, like, literally millions of people are just walking around hoping that you will die. Like, millions of people are focusing at least a little bit of their attention, of their energy, of their manifestation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They are focusing at least a little bit of their dream, their dreaming, their envisioning, to hope that you die. Can you imagine being that hated? I can't, but he can.
You are not black or Hispanic and live in Texas. I do not want to hear if you have a problem with what Gavin Newsom is doing. I don't care. My vote is only worth 1/5 of a white person's now in Texas. That's what they just did yesterday. If you're Hispanic, it's only 1/3. That means it takes 3 Hispanic people for every 1 white voter. It takes 5 for black people for every white voter. I don't care, okay? I'm so serious. And it's not benign, this conversation that you all are having, saying you have an issue with it, and yet we shouldn't be fighting fire with fire and all this other kind of shit. It harms us the most. If you are white, I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm so serious. Because you are not the one that's going to take the brunt of this administration and all the Republicans that are backing him. I'm so sick of it, because the thing is, it's not this super benign thing, because people in California have to vote on this, okay? If California is our best bet to counter what they're doing in Texas. And if you discourage people from voting for this, I swear to fucking God, like, I'm so tired of y'all not listening to us. Stop saying that this is a bad thing, okay? You will not suffer the consequences of your moral superiority, okay? I am not worth less as a voter.
Y'all, black people are not the problem. The LGBTQ plus community is not the problem. The problem has been and will always be the cis white male until they are finally held accountable for their vile and grotesque behavior. And when I talk about accountable, I don't mean, oh, that wasn't nice to say. I'm talking about getting punched in the fucking face.
And I've never once met a good man. My entire life, going on almost 32 years, okay? I've never met one genuinely good man. Every single man I have encountered has done something absolutely horrific and minimized it. Every single man that I've encountered is a liar, is a perv, and does not see women as humans. Every single man that I've ever encountered is so far up the patriarchy's booty butt. They genuinely think that it's okay for them to not grow past the mental age of 12. They genuinely think that having a job is all that they need to do. I have never met a good man. Not my father, I don't consider him a good man. My brothers, really not good men. My ex, baby daddy, not a good man. His dad, horrible man. His two brothers, one of them is halfway decent, but still don't consider him good. His sister's husband, really shitty. All of my male family members, horrible people. All of my past male colleagues, all of my male instructors, professors, all of them are fucking horrible. Horrible. There is no such thing as a good man. And if you think you're a good man, please explain why.
I don't know about not seeing other women as human, but personally, this lady reminds me of that succubus demon from the movie VHS. Anyway, there's tons of women who think exactly like she does walking around the U.S., who just make life miserable for other people. And talking this way is like completely normalized for women about men. If you hear a man talk about women this way, you would think there's something wrong with him. You'd think he's like an incel or something, but she can go on and say these things, and other bitter women will cheer her on. And of course, they all vote Democrat.
So today my 10-year-old asked me the difference between Republicans and Democrats, and this is what I told him. Mind you, I was raised Republican, so everything I'm about to tell you is exactly what I heard. So this isn't an opinion. These are things that I have heard. I gave him an analogy first. I said, okay, when you see a homeless person, what's the first thing that you do? He said, I ask you if we can buy them food, if they're hungry. Which he does all the time because he is an empathetic, sweet little boy. And I said, yes, absolutely. You ask if they're hungry because they're homeless and they need food. Then I said, okay, now imagine you look at that homeless person, but you look at them and think they're disgusting. You look at them and think they're not a good person. You just can't even imagine what they did to get in that situation. And you look at them like they're just begging people for money when they could be working or doing this or that, and you're judging them and just really not seeing them as a human being. And he said, why would you do that? I said, well, buddy, that's the example of the difference between someone who's a Democrat and a Republican. Republicans, not all, but most, vote very selfishly. They vote for things that only affect them, and they don't care about how any of those things affect other people. Republicans think everybody is abusing a system, and they want the government to control everybody that they don't like. And Democrats care about all people. They love all human beings, and they want everybody to have the same rights and everybody to have the same access to things. And they want everybody to be able to live their life and have food and have
Just so we're on the same page here, I'm of the firm belief that every single person who has ever worked for ICE is a violent criminal who gets off on hurting people who can't fight back. They should be shamed and ostracized for their willing decision to actively participate in the brutalization of an already marginalized group of people, the overwhelming majority of whom have never been charged with a crime. The fact that they refuse to show their faces means that they're cowards, and they know that what they're doing is fucked up. If you're part of ICE, have the day you deserve.
Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having a nice Sunday or whatever day you may happen to view this video on. Please give this video a like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Consider subbing to me on Patreon if you want to monetarily support this channel. That would be very nice. And Red Channels will catch you in the next one.
Smoke green jar, recently. I don't know what.